Hey, welcome to Time Out with Chicmomkia. I'm your host, Kia. This is where we pause for life and dive into talks for moms, students, and anyone who is chasing their dreams with a full plate. I'm your host, Kia. I'm your sister in the struggle, your hype woman for motivation talks and making it work without losing yourself. So today we're going to be tackling something that every student knows too well, stress. Not the cute stress where you need a cup of coffee, but the stress where homework is due at midnight, dinner is burning, and if you're a mom, your kid is yelling mom while you're trying to read the last 5 chapters of your assignments. Yeah, that type of stress. So today I'm going to be breaking down the realistic hacks of balancing life, mom life and student life, or parent life and student life, from routines, meal prep, dating, studying time, and finding quiet spaces when you don't have a minute to breathe. So let's talk about morning routines. Let's start the night before. So the night before, I'm a mom. I only have one kid. I make sure that my daughter and myself, we have planned out morning so that the morning will go smoothly. So we set out our clothes for the next morning, shoes, a whole outfit. I'm talking about from the jewelry, everything that I'm wearing, the perfume, all of that is already set out. You could take a shower in the morning or at nighttime. I like to do it for my child the night before because it just helps the kids to sleep better. And then in the morning, I like to get in the shower because it helps me to have a slower morning. But just starting there, if you feel like you're one of those people that have a hard time with time management, because I used to be like that. And so I had to learn how to start prepping the night before and getting everything in order before so that my mornings could go a lot smoother. Even if I had to get my daughter together first and then get her off to school and come back and get myself together, which some mornings I do that. And that was the morning for me this morning. But it just makes the morning slower. It helps you to process everything. It helps you to think about, okay, what do I have to do today? Look at your calendar. If you have class, have you done your homework? Do you need to, sit out or prep food for dinner for the night, for tomorrow night? Or, if dinner's already made, whatever you need to do, just making sure that you are processing everything in the morning. Anchor routines. So instead of scheduling every hour, just set anchors like wake up, drop off, study block, bedtimes. Use your class schedule as life templates. So plug in meals, workouts, and then study around it. So putting your clothes out the night before is an anchor. Knowing that okay, I give myself on, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I work out for 30 minutes in the morning time. And then after that, I have my meetings I have, scheduled. If you try to keep a routine for each day, that's the same. You do the same thing. You have the same morning routine. You have, you go and do your studying and lunch in the afternoon. You pick up your kids, you have dinner ready, and then you do the night routine to be prepared for the next day. Those are anchor routines. And so you don't need a 5 a.m. millionaire routine. You need a survival routine that works for you. So cater it to yourself, cater it to your kids. You don't have to do it exactly how I do it because you might be a mom of 3, or you might be a single dad, or you may be a single grandparent that's raising kids. And so my schedule and how my routine works may not work for you, but cater it around you so that you are having less stress, especially because you're trying to work, be a parent, and go to school at the same time. That is a lot of work. It's hard, but it's worth it in the end. So just starting with the schedule first is the base of you being able to manage everything, having a good foundation, a good solid schedule. And my mom used to tell me this all the time when I was growing up, I kept y'all on a routine because it helped me to be able to get everything done throughout the day. I was able to, raise all of y'all with 6 of us. So, raising all of y'all, I had to have a routine, or otherwise everything was going to be chaotic. And so now, being a parent myself, I understand the importance of having that routine, having that structure, not just for yourself, but for your kids too. Because if your kid is coming home from school and the house is chaotic, nobody's there, it ain't no food done, they don't know what they're supposed to be doing, it it trickles into their school life and their social life, and they have a hard time adjusting. So when they have that structure and they have the opportunity to know, like, okay, when I get home from school, I do my homework first, and then I do my chores, and then I can have some time on on my phone or watching TV for 2 to 3 hours, and then it's dinner time, and then I get my clothes out, and then it's bedtime. It's going to help them as adults, because it helped me as an adult. Like, even if you feel like, oh, they're not paying attention, they're not thinking about, what I'm saying to them right now, I'm telling you, it sticks, because kids, they watch what you do, not what you say. So you could tell them all day long, you need to do this, you need to do this, clean your room. But then they walk in your room and you got clothes all over the floor. Your bed is never straightened. You got cups of food and plates and stuff all over the place. What do you think their room's going to look like? They're going to be like, well, why does mine matter when, theirs is looking like that? And even you may feel like, well, I'm the adult, I'm the parent, I can have this looking this way if I want to. And, but it's just like your role model. As parents, we're role models, so you can't think about it in that way, especially if you want your child to grow up and be a great human being. We are raising the next generation, so it is imperative that we are paying attention to all of the details. Because my daughter now will be like, oh, why does that matter? Why do I have to do this or why do I have to do that? Because later down the line, you're going to need this skill set. You're going to need to understand how to be able to function. You can't go, to your job and not, have good hygiene or not brush your hair. Like, no, we're not doing that, and when you walk out of the house, you represent me. Another thing that I was taught growing up. So I think that routines are for your sanity. Routines are for your kids' sanity. And so, like, if anything is thrown into, your routine that's not normal, it won't be so overwhelming for you, because now okay, this is what I do on a daily basis. So now I have to add this in. Where can I put this into my schedule? I am going to have a template of different anchor tips. The meal prepping after this episode, it'll be on my newsletter. And so I'll have the link in the bio, and you guys can subscribe to the newsletter and you can get free templates, tips and tricks, and anything. If you want to ask me questions or anything like that, you'll be able to, correspond with me on there, or you can follow me on social media, correspond from there as well. So the next thing is meal prepping without being overwhelmed. Realistic prep is 3 core meals. So, and 2 grab and go snacks, and then rotated weekly. So I struggled with this. This was another thing that I struggled with. And I'm just a mom of one, but I was just like, I don't know what to cook. Like, I don't know, I'm trying to meal prep. Like, I am buying groceries for the month. I'm not having to go to the grocery store every day. Was just so overwhelming to me. But it was because I did not have a routine. I didn't have any structure. Everything was kind of all over the place. So like, the last thing that I could think about is like, what am I about to make for dinner? Like, sitting down and strategically figuring out what am I going to cook for dinner. And so, 3-course breakfast, lunch, and then dinner, and then 2 snacks in between. Most of the time, if it's like the summer, that's a realistic schedule. During the school year, not so realistic, because they're going to school, they're going to have lunch there. A lot of times they take snacks to school. And so, that's going to be taken care of that midsection of the day. And then in the morning time, they eat breakfast as well, too. So really, you just are meal prepping for dinner. So, you get a family pound of chicken breast. You get a pound of turkey breast. You can get some ground beef. You can get, steak. You can get pork chops if you eat pork. Like, just getting that base meats, and then just finding sides to go around that. So you can have vegetables, you can have rice, you can have beans, you can have corn. Like, there's different vegetables that you can have on the side, and just make it simple. Do a meat, do bread, and do a vegetable. and I love a crock pot meal. I love a one pot meal. It helps me so much. And so even if it's frozen, I'll wake up and I will put some broth and water in the crock pot, and then put whatever meat in there, and then let it cook all day. Then when I get home, I add my vegetables and stuff in there as well. It will usually be like, some rice or potatoes or something like that. And then now dinner's done. Now I don't have to wait. My child ain't having to wait hours for me to finish cooking because it's already been cooking all day long. So all I'm doing is making this side, and now dinner's done. Now I can sit down and focus on doing some homework for the next 2 to 3 hours. She can do her homework, and then, we're going to bed. So, crock pot meals will save your life, I'm telling you. Or get an air fryer, crock pot, like wherever and you can go to the thrift store to find those, because people thrift those a lot. So go to the thrift store and look in their home goods section, and you should be able to find a crock pot. It's like the big what is it? Ceramic, pot. And sometimes it has like the metal thing that it sits inside of. And you just plug it up. Yeah. I love those things. So shortcuts, pre-cut veggies, bagged salads, rotisserie chicken. Like, it's not Instagram pretty, but it's effective. So again, you go to Walmart and Aldi's and Myers here in Michigan, wherever you are. If you're down south, you go into Albertsons, you're going to Publix, just look in the aisle where the veggies are and get the pre-cut veggies. Like, that's something that you don't like doing. You feel like it takes too much time. There's pre-cut onions, zucchini, squash, whatever you could think of. Tomatoes, you can find it already pre-cut. That cuts down time. You go and buy a rotisserie chicken they have them in every grocery store. Get you already a pre-made rotisserie chicken, take that home and just pull it apart. But, and whatever you go use the chicken for, you could, break it off the bones, put some in the freezer for later, and then use some for dinner for that night. And then the bag salads. So like you can get the containers of like spinach or the purple cabbage or just lettuce, like whatever, you need. Again, that's cutting out chopping time for you. So you don't have to cut up anything. It's already prepared for you and you're just plating it basically. So apps, Too Good to Go, Flash Food, it's just any app of the grocery, because I think Walmart has an app, Meijer has an app, like pretty much every grocery store that you can go to will have an app, and then they have the discounts and stuff on there. Use the coupons, because they do save you a lot of money. When you go into the store, like right on the side of the thing, they have like the coupons and the sales for that month or for that week. Grab those. You can use those. It'll save you a lot of money. You can get a buy one, get one free or 2 for whatever. Like, it's a lot of deals in there. So if you are low on money at the time and you just trying to get something quick, look into the coupon, little magazine or newspaper or whatever it's called. Look on your app, on your phone, download that so that you can know, like, okay, this is what I have at home. How can I take this and go to the store and grab a few things and create a meal for myself or for me and my kids and my family? So meal prep isn't about being fancy. It's about not crying at 6 p.m. over frozen nuggets. So, and you want to make sure that you are eating healthy, especially going to school. Like, your brain, you need vitamins and minerals and antioxidants you need for your brain to be able to function so that you can be the best version of you and you can pass these classes, because the whole goal is to pass the class. We want to make sure that our bodies are healthy, our minds are healthy, so that we are doing and showing up every day the best version of ourselves. So you don't have to be like, what's her name? Is it Sarah or what was it? It's a girl on TikTok and Instagram, and she's like a traditional wife, and she's like very soft, and she baked cookies from scratch, and she made lollipop, and she made gum one time. You don't have to be fancy like that. It doesn't. If you are, kudos to you. I love that. Like, if the food is your passion, absolutely do it. Take that time to use it as therapy, but you don't have to be like that to be able to make a meal. It doesn't have to be frozen either for you to make a meal. But if you get the frozen chicken, you get the frozen turkey and all of that, that's fine too. that is absolutely fine. Put it in the oven, put it in the air fryer, crock pot, whatever you need to do. I'm not shaming anybody. You can use frozen, you can use fresh, you can do it from scratch. However it works best for you to get it done, then just get it done. That's all that matters. I want to eventually be that trad mom to where I'm like making bread from scratch and muffins and cookies and stuff in the morning for my kids and husband. So, kudos to her. I got to figure out what her name is because I know I can see her face is right on the tip of my tongue. But y'all know who I'm talking about because she talks very soft and she's very, feminine and everything. And so, I really like to watch her cook. So the next segment, we are going into dating while degreeing. So let's normalize it, right? Because yes, you can have a love life while pursuing your degree. I think that that's another thing that a lot of us are balancing. And people try to make it seem like, oh, well, you can't have a social life. You can't be in a relationship like you in school. That's the only thing that you can do. You barely have time for your family and friends. And that's not true. Because for the first 2 semesters that I was in school, I didn't know how to balance the social life part. I was so worried about, okay, I need to pass this class. Like I need to get a good grade. Like I need to be able to focus, and I cannot talk to people on the phone. I can't go over to nobody's house. Like I got to use every single minute and hour of my time trying to pass these classes. And so I felt completely burnt out. And so I took time off in the summertime and I was like, I need to spend time with my child and see my family and friends. And, I want to be able to go on a date and, meet somebody. And so I understand now, again, it's about balance. It's about, having routine with that too, especially if your partner, like if they've already, accomplished getting their degree, they understand. For those who don't have a degree, like your partner doesn't have a degree and you're trying to pursue one, y'all need to sit down and have that conversation and tell them how important this is to you. Like, this is for you. You're accomplishing this to have a better life, to be able to support each other, so they need to be able to have your back when it comes to the routine and the schedule and making sure that everything is in alignment. I will say that the people that I have in my life that I contend with on a daily basis are such good people and they help me a lot. I'm able to lean on them and, just be able to vent and express myself. And then I'm able to, okay, I got that out of my system. Now I can go on to this. Or I have my friend who's like, no, you need to be studying right now. I'm like, nope, you need to take a nap, get you some rest. Did you eat breakfast this morning? Get up and do this. And you need to be paying attention to that. And I'm doing the podcast and, I have my side business, that I'm doing as well. So helping me to keep a balance with that, helping me to understand that I can do this. I'm able to do this, but I just have to have people in my corner that really support me, that really believe in what it is that I'm trying to do. Because it does make it difficult. In the last 2 episodes, we talked about having the right people in your corner, like mentorship and, and being around the right friends. And it goes the same for your partner. Like the man or woman that you're dating, they need to be supportive. They need to be understanding. They need to be positive, for you and be able to help you through some things. It may not be all things, but, you don't need to have somebody that's on your back about, oh, you always in class, you always in school, you don't ever have time for me, and you are doing this for a better reason, for a greater reason. So to have somebody in your corner like that is unhealthy, and you need to reevaluate, who's in your corner and who you think has your back, because that's not healthy at all. So be upfront about your schedule and protect your peace. So going back to what I just said, like, let them know, like, I'm going to school and I work and I'm doing this. So, in the summer times, like I told my partner, like, summertime is free for me. We can go and we can travel, we can do all these things, we can have fun, all of that. But as soon as the fall comes, the schedule shifts. Like everything, because my daughter goes back to school, I go back to school, like I'm working, I'm doing, there's a lot of things that are shifting. And so I need you to be able to understand that the time that we, had before is going to be a little bit more limited. And don't take it as, I don't care about you, I'm not thinking about you, or, I don't want to be around you. It has nothing to do with that. It's the simple fact of, this is my life, and it'll be my life for the next 2 to 3 years until I'm done. And I want you here. I want to be able to consider you, but you have to consider me as well. So we need to make sure that we can be on the same page about our schedules. Whatever your life is and whatever you got going on, how can we fit each other, into our schedules and make time for each other? That's that compromising, with partnership and knowing that your person is emotionally mature enough to be able to compromise with you with certain things. Quality over quantity in dating. Finding somebody who is emotionally mature and stable. To be able to hold you up when you having a hard time. Like I'm struggling with a class right now, and I'm getting through it. I'm actually doing a lot better, but I don't like the class. I am not a fan of the class. And so, having like him talk to me and tell me like, you can do this, you got this, like, I'm gonna help you if you need it, like, keep fighting, keep going. It helps me so much, and in ways that I don't even know if he knows. So just having a person who can understand that, who are understanding, they're patient, they're kind, they're passionate about you and about your future, that matters. Date nights do not have to be expensive. Library study dates, coffee shops, or even cooking together. So the cooking together, I feel like top tier, because it's so intimate. It's more intimate than people think. And so that in a day where my entire schedule is full, like I haven't seen him or her all day long. I've been gone all day. I've been in meetings. I've been in class. I went to the study, the tutor lab. I've done all this stuff. And now I get back home and I'm with my person and we are cooking a personal meal together. And we're having a conversation about what happened today, how I'm feeling, how much did I miss you. I was thinking about, though that moment is set aside time for that. The study dates, like if your person is in college, that I feel like that's great. Let's go to the library or, find some quiet space on campus and let's study together, help each other out. If you are a coffee drinker, I'm a tea drinker. I don't drink coffee. I love matcha tea though. That's my coffee. If you're a coffee drinker, go and, take your laptop and your notebook and, go sit down at Starbucks and find a, empty corner and y'all just sit next to each other and just exist in each other's space. It doesn't always have to be like, oh, I'm going to Dubai, I'm going to Miami, we finna party, we finna do all this other stuff. Like as you get older, you understand that just existing in your person's space is enough. Like it speaks volumes so much more than you can even express. So all of the money that was spent on this trip, and all of this and all the disagreements, arguments and everything does not compare to coming home and cooking a meal with my man. It doesn't compare to, us just laying up and watching our favorite show together or him going and, sitting and studying with me. Like it doesn't compare to that. I will stand on that till the end of time. And the last thing I want to say is if they can't respect your study time, then they can't sit at your table at all. So That's so important. Yeah, like you don't want anybody that's coming in your life that's trying to deter you from a goal. Like you committed to this. You made it up in your mind that this is what I want to do. I've given my time and everything to this. To have somebody come in and be like, no, you don't need that. No, you shouldn't be doing that. You know what? You actually should be paying attention to me or paying attention to this. And it's like, if what they're talking about that they want you to pay attention, if it's not going to evolve you or get you to where you're trying to go, where this degree is going to get you to, if that, whatever they're talking about is not doing that, we don't need to continue having this conversation. We don't need to talk anymore as far as I'm concerned. And now that may not be you. You may be a little bit more lenient than me, but I'm not. This is the goal. This is the goal. I have already struggled enough. I've already tried different routes that ultimately led me to this one right here. And so far, like God has been aligning so many different things for me and opening doors and putting me exactly where I need to be. Why would I fight this? Why would I deter off of this path? Why would I do anything other than what I was told to do? Like what was given to me to do? Because you coming in and you are trying to stop me from doing that, you know, you have to realize who the distractions are, who the vampires or the or whatever you want to call them, are in your lives. And a lot of the times it be the closest people to you, be friends, families, it could be your spouse, like, and you got to figure out how you can pivot from that. How can you get from underneath that energy or from those people, like get away from them. There are a lot of people who I just don't hang around anymore. I don't deal with anymore. Not because I don't care about your well-being or wish you well or love, but there is a certain place that I'm trying to get to, and where you are and where I am are not the same place. And so I'm not going to backtrack to come back to where you are so that you can feel comfortable. And then slowly I'm already here because I worked hard to get here. I put myself in place to get here. I'm continuously putting myself to evolve. I'm not going to backtrack for anybody, and you shouldn't either. I think that that's unfair, especially when you ain't trying to do nothing. You've been back here for the last 20 years, for the last 40 years or however, you have no intentions on moving forward with your life. You're content and happy with where you are. Okay, that's your life. That's your journey. But to make me feel like I should feel some type of way, or I'm not a good friend because I'm not allowing you to be involved in whatever it is I'm doing in my life, or I don't call you, I don't come see you no more. I'm busy. I'm handling a lot of stuff. I'm doing a lot. You know this. You see it, on social media. You're not, not aware of it. But again, trying to make somebody feel like what they're doing is not important, or what they're doing is selfish, because they're choosing themselves. They're choosing a better future for their family. No, we're not dealing with that. It's 2025. It's people out here getting paid to eat on camera. People are getting paid to take pictures of their feet. There is no reason why, if you're not happy with where you are back here, that you don't have a plethora of opportunities and idea and creativity to get you here. That's not any of my business. It's not none of your business. Because we live in a soft life. We are living a positive, soft, chic life. I tell y'all this on my social media. If you've been following me on TikTok and on Instagram and Facebook, y'all already know we're not doing the drama. I don't do the drama. We're not doing that. We're very soft, very feminine. We love that. Easy energy. We're not doing anything hard. We're not working harder. We're working smarter. We're not doing it. So if that's not you, then this may not be the podcast for you. This may not be the arena, or whatever you want to call it for you, but this is what we do over here. So study time that actually happens. So the 25-5 rule works during naps and short breaks. You can do 25 minutes of homework or 30 minutes or an hour, however, depending on what the class is and how, stressful or how much workload you have. And then you take a 5-minute break. Then you go back to it again. And so repowering, recharging yourself. I think for me, the naps and during the day will completely throw me off. Like unless it's the weekend and I know like I don't have to get up the next day to necessarily go anywhere, I can't do naps during the week. I will wake up and it'll be dark because my body has like, oh, we need this. So we're just going to go a couple more hours. So I don't do naps during the day. So, but that was, a recommendation that popped up. So I thought that I would share that. Campus quiet spots. So libraries, tutor centers, or even an empty classroom if it's unlocked. I don't have classes like 3 times a week. And on those days, I'll come to campus and I'll go and I'll sit in, a quiet room or find a little like conference room to sit in. And I give myself like 2 to 3 hours of studying and catching up on homework and, or I'm working on, my podcast or whatever I need to work on, but finding that quiet space. Because a lot of times, the college has open lounge areas where you can sit and stuff. I recommend that stuff for like, if you just want to have a little like quick lunch or you want to chat with a friend, but studying outside of, I don't know, maybe that's just me. I can't try to study and it's a lot of people talking and people laughing and there's noises everywhere. I need it to be silent, or I need to be listening to like some lo-fi jazz music. It's very calming, or classical music helps me to be able to like focus my brain. I don't know. I've always been that way. So quiet spaces I recommend for studying. Noise canceling apps, Brain FM, lo-fi beats on YouTube, and then white noise apps. And that's what I'm saying. When I get ready to study, especially when I'm at home, I play lo-fi beats. Alexa already knows. She got my whole little playlist together. That helps me get through, because it's like, it's a nice jazz. It's smooth. It's very calming, but it still like keeps me on a good tempo. So I will get through like so much work, and then I'll look at the clock and be like, oh my God, I just did all of that. I just finished all of that. In my mind, I have my cup of water. I have a snack, keep myself hydrated, but I'm able to go for a good while. And then I'm like, okay, now it's time for me to take a break. You must take a break. You can't just go and not take a break, especially if you're getting frustrated with it or you feel like you're having a brain block. Take a break. Take like 20, especially if you're doing hours at a time, take like 20 to 30 minutes of a break. Go use the restroom, walk around, stretch, drink some water. You can scroll on social media for a little while, but give yourself a break and then you can come back to it. So quiet time is golden. But headphones and boundaries are platinum. I love quietness. I love peace. I love, but if you don't have the ability to find a quiet space or one of those conference rooms, getting headphones will work. And just letting people know, like, this time is blocked out. This is my studying time. Don't call and text me during this time. Like, put your phone on D&D. If whatever it is, say you have to get to it afterwards. Unless somebody is like dying and it's like a true emergency, block that time off. No social media while you trying to study at all. Like, unless it's during your break time and you've studied for a good amount of time before you got on social media to scroll, because it's distracting. It's literally made to distract us. It's very unhealthy, but we still do it. So, hey, whatever. I scroll on social media. I'm doing this. People make money on social media. So, they're on it. But when you're trying to do something like that, when you need to focus, no social media. And setting your boundaries for yourself and for other people, for your family and friends. Okay, this is my time block. I'm studying during this time of the day. Please try not to bother me. But you have to commit to that for yourself too. You have to put boundaries on your own self to commit to this. Like, okay, I know better. I know this is when I'm supposed to be studying. I know this is when I'm supposed to work out. I know this is when, this is my routine. Like, I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and holding yourself to it. And I don't know if you have to like start a reward system for yourself in the beginning so that, you could feel motivated to keep that routine, or, set alarms or something, or have an accountability partner that you do that a lot in working out, but you could do that with school too. You find a classmate that's like maybe struggling like you, or, may have the open time, and y'all hold each other accountable. Y'all go and study together, so this person understands the goal that you're trying to reach because they in the same class as you. So, setting that time aside and, just checking in on each other, that helps. Like, don't go through this journey. If you're going to a community college, especially, even in universities, but community colleges, because that's where we're at right now, don't go through this journey and not connect, not reach out to people, not make friends, not find a community. Like, don't do that to yourself, because it's going to be so much harder. When you need help, when you need resources, you don't even know who to go to or who to ask. Go around your campus, go into these offices, go into the dean's office, into student life, into resources, disability, wherever. Go in there and just ask them, like, what do you do? What resources do you provide? Like, what can I get from this? Because it's literally here for you. Your tuition pays for all of this. So for you to just come on campus and then leave, like, I get if you have a tight schedule, but if you have some time, go around the campus. Like, where all the food spots is at. Why not find out what the other resources are available for you on campus? And the college that I go to, GRCC, has a ton of resources. And if you are a student and you following my podcast and you want to know about any resources, just reach out to me. I am a student ambassador here on campus, so I would love to help, love to give you any tips, and just guide you. Like, my whole thing for this podcast is cutting out the middleman and getting the students to the resources, connecting local Grand Rapids with GRCC, and then some. So, that's my goal. That's my desire. That's what, was given to me in this dream. And so that's what I plan to do. So, quick wins and stress hacks. So just to recap, routines, anchor your day, not every hour, the day. So prepare for it, the week before, look at your calendar and see what you have. Okay, on this day, I know I have this, I have a meeting, okay, this is a class, but after this, I have some free time. The next day I have this, or I have nothing at all on this day. What can I put in there? What do I need to take care of? What's important? What's prioritized? What's at the top of the list? Anchor it. Meals, 3 meals, 2 snacks. Keep it simple. Very simple. Majority of time, if your kids, take lunch to school, you could prep for that over the weekend. Do it on Sunday, because then everything is still fresh and you ain't got to worry about like, oh, I did this prep on Friday and now stuff is starting, because, we know that fruits and vegetables and stuff are starting to wilt faster than what they did back in the day. Chemicals. But prep on Sunday so that everything is still fresh for the week going in. If you are working and you take your lunch to work, prep you and your kids' lunch, prep you, your husband, whoever, prep it on Sundays. It just makes it better. And then you take your snacks throughout the day. So, you're going to do studying after class, have an apple, a granola bar, a little, yogurt to go. Like, just because it's the kids' yogurt don't mean you can't eat it. It's still healthy. It's still a to-go snack. Find you the little bumblebee snacks to where it's like the tuna and the crackers and stuff. Get you some small things that you can take that can pop into the backpack or into your, purse or wherever you take, so that you can have some fuel. Dating, boundaries equals self-respect. That goes for your partner and for family and friends. But we specifically talked about dating. But your boundaries equal self-respect. And I'm learning that, y'all. We can learn it together. I'm learning to put up my boundaries and to stand up for my boundaries for myself, because I know I cannot function this way. I tried to do it this way before, and it almost left me in a bad space. Like I was all over the place. I can't function like that. this is how I function. So if you're going to come into my life, or you're going to be in my life, this is how I function. And if that's a problem for you, then, okay, we're not meant to be, because your boundaries are your boundaries and that's how you function. So if you're telling me these are my boundaries, I really can't do this. I don't, do that. I had, issue with this, so I don't do this anymore. Okay, cool. I'm going to make sure that I don't do that. I don't bring that forth. I don't put that in front of you. Self-respect. Respect yourself first so that other people can respect you. Because if you ain't respecting yourself, you're not holding yourself accountable. You're not sticking to your commitment, sticking to your own self boundaries. Nobody else is going to stick to your boundaries. They're just going to walk all over you and just do whatever because you don't stick to your own boundaries. So that's super important. Study 25 minutes at a time. Beat 0 minutes every time. So even if you feel like, oh man, I only got 25, 30 minutes of studying in, it's something. It's more than not doing it at all. And just being like, you know what? I'm just not going to do that today. I'm not going to go to class today. I'm not going to study. I'm tired. You may be exhausted. There are days where I am like struggling to keep my eyes open. Like I am plumb tired, but I know, okay, I got a test coming up. I know I got this homework that's due on Tuesday or the following week, on Thursday. I got to give something to it because I made this commitment to myself and I matter to myself. You should matter to yourself. The things that you're doing, that you're trying to accomplish should matter to you more than anybody else. So 25 minutes matters. 30 minutes matter. An hour matters. And then if you need to go take a power nap, go do that, eat something, and then come back and then see how long you can go. But just don't not do any studying at all. And, it be hard. And you'll have sleepless nights. You're going to be up, in the middle of the night sometimes, especially if you waited, too late, or if like I really got to finish this. There's a huge chunk that has to be done. Take that L. Miss some hours of sleep. Eventually you'll go to sleep, but get that done because it matters. So balance isn't about doing it all. It's about doing what matters. So I really like that quote. You don't have to do everything. You don't have to be everywhere. You don't have to please everybody. You do what you can do with what you have. The resources that are in front of you, your time, your availability, your finances, do with what you have. Make it work for you and your family and whoever, if it's just you, great. If you a mom like me, single mom, make it work for you, mama. If you're a single dad, make it work for you, dad, grandma, grandpa, however you need to do it, because there's all walks of life here on campus, on the college. So I'm talking to everybody. I advocate for single moms because I'm a single mom, but I'm talking to everybody. This is for everyone. Do what works for you. Do what's best for you, but do it. However you get it done, as long as you're not harming others, you're not pulling nobody down, you're not breaking people's spirit, you're not out here lying, cheating, and, doing it the wrong way. I don't recommend that. That's not what I'm giving out. That's not what I'm saying. That's not my energy. But you do what's best for you and be unapologetic about it. And when you have to move out of the space of other people being negative or tell people, no, I can't do that. I don't have the capacity, or actually I'm busy right now. Like I will get to you, but right now I need to take care of this for me and mine. And it's okay. It's absolutely okay. I promise you. Cause I don't feel bad about it. No, I can't. I'm sorry. With a smile on my face, exactly like this. No, thank you. But thank you. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. I was excited to do this solo. I was a little nervous, but I was excited to come and just chat with you guys and share a little bit, of what's been on my mind and what I'm feeling. I want you guys to comment below of what you would like to hear from me. What questions do you have? What was your best snippet from this video today? Like, share, subscribe. If you're a mom student like me, I see you, I get you, and I promise you, you are doing better than you think. If today's episode gave you a new hack, a laugh, or just some peace, share it with a friend. And don't forget, you can drop your questions. I'm going to have the newsletter in there so you guys can drop questions, because I want to do a live Q&A. And so I'll be, filming, but I'll be live on Facebook so that I can interact with you guys. And if you have questions or comments or anything, we can talk about it in real time. And so remember, you're not alone. You are in your time. Until next time, keep growing, keep glowing, and keep going for it. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.